Hi guys, so today I wanted to come on and do a January wrap up to talk about all the books that I read in the month of January 2022. I read about 8 books, I think, but 2 of those were kids' books, so they were really short, and I'm going to talk about them today. The first book that I read was Eat, Pray, #FML. It was by Gabrielle Stone. I gave this book, let me double check, a 1 star out of 5, which I know is pretty harsh, but I don't know. This is a book that TikTok kind of hyped up, and I think that I saw the author on TikTok posting about it, just kind of the synopsis about what it was about. And it is a true story about her life and like what she dealt with going through a divorce and kind of going on this solo journey by herself. And I guess the title kind of reflects that it's like an eat, pray, love kind of trip. But I don't know, it felt kind of like surface level, and you didn't really get to know her as a person other than, I don't know, I felt like it was supposed to be this book where she dug really deep and like discovered things about herself, but it didn't really feel like she dug really deep and discovered things about herself, if you get what I mean. So yeah, I gave that book a 1 out of 5. I listened to it as an audiobook, and the author read it, so that's nice. I like when I listen to audiobooks and the author's actually reading it, so you can kind of hear what they intended for certain parts of the book, so that was fun. Hello, Tater Tot, making another appearance. The second book that I read was Malibu Rising by Jenkins Reid. I did really enjoy this. I've also read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo before, and I like that book as well. I gave it a 3 out of 5. I felt like, which is still pretty good for me. Like 3, when I give a book a 3 stars, it's like good. I liked it. I felt like it did spend a lot of time being like, oh, this is why my dad sucks, and this is why my dad sucks. And like the dad did suck, don't get me wrong, but like I feel like the whole book just kind of kept coming back around to the same point. But yeah, the book kind of kept just coming back around to why the dad was so problematic in the lives of all these people. So if you're into reading something like that, then go for it. Jenkins Reid, I really like her writing. The next book, I listened to this one as well, Atomic Habits by James Clear. This is just a like self-help book trying to tell you about his like foolproof method for creating habits and kind of sticking with them. And it did approach them in a different way than I have ever thought about habits before. I always see those things on like Pinterest where it's like, oh, it'll take like 4 weeks for other people to see it and 8 weeks for you to see it and blah, blah, blah. And I think he even like talked about that in the book to be like, this is BS, you know, but he also provides like resources on his website of like different, it's not workbooks, but it's like pages you can print out to kind of write down your habit that you want to do and different checklists and stuff. I ended up giving this a 4 out of 5. I haven't like actually, I looked at the website and saw the things that you could print and download, but I never did that. So maybe that would be a good thing to do for the start of this year. Okay, the next book I read, I actually have a physical copy of it. I did listen to this as an audiobook, but I really liked having the physical copy as well so that I could kind of follow along inside. And it was funny because the audiobook in some places would say different words than what were in the book, which I thought was kind of funny. Like they still meant the same thing, and it was similar enough, but it was just kind of funny to me that they were different words. This book is funny. I feel like I've tried to read this book for a long time since I was in high school, and I even have like writing in here from when I was in high school, like big bubble letters, because you know everyone wrote like that. But yeah, I never really did. I've always loved the movie, and I think having seen the movie made me, and I've seen the movie like many, many times. Seeing the movie made me more interested in reading the book. That happens sometimes. I'll like, if I read the book first and then see the movie, I'll like not like the movie as much. But if I see the movie first and then read the book after, it almost is better because I like getting that extra bit of information that you didn't get in the movie through the book. So I give this 5 out of 5. It's classic Jane Austen. It did take a little bit of time to get through. Let's see, it's like almost 400 pages, but it's kind of slow, you know, but definitely worth reading. I did like that a lot. 5 out of 5 stars. Let's see, the next 2 books I read were the kids' books that I was talking about, so they're pretty short. This one I remember reading when I was a kid. Let's see when it was published, if they have it in here. Oh my gosh, there's like an old crossword puzzle in here from me. September of 2000. So this is 26 Fairmount Avenue by Tomie DePaola. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Also, I like how I had to look at my Goodreads screen when I'm literally holding the book to read the last name because I can't read backwards. Anyways, this was cute. It's like each chapter is kind of like a little short story, I would say. Not really, like it's all following the same timeline, but just about how they're building this house, and that's gonna end up being like his final address. So this is a really good book for kids to get like their first chapter book. The chapters are small, like 1 or 2 pages, and the print's very big, so it was cute. I remember reading this as a kid, so it was like a nice little throwback. And I think I gave this and the other kids book that I'm about to talk about 3 stars, because you know, reading it as an adult is not as exciting as when you were a kid. The next book, this is like really special to me because this was actually my mom's copy of this book when she was a kid. When you open the front page, it has her name like written in there as if, you know, when she was little, and she didn't have the best handwriting, and you can see at the top it was like 35 cents. So cute. Let's see, I think this is from like 1967. First printing, March 1967. So yeah, the pages are yellow. It is taped on the binding because I'm sure it would fall apart. This book just like teaches a lesson about greediness, and it's really cute. There's a lot of like illustrations in here on every single page about him going and talking to this magic fish and getting everything that his wife wants, because she's never happy. But yeah, super cute. I gave this one a 3 out of 5 as well. And then let's see the other ones that I read. Oh yeah, I read I actually have it here, I forgot that I had it. Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel. This was it's a collection of poetry by R.H. Sin, and I don't know, it's very like immature. Some of the poems that were in here, you're like, oh, this must be like a younger person writing, and I know nothing about the author, so I could actually probably look it up. But some of the poems were just really like based in immaturity. It felt like going through breakups and relationships as like a young adult. There were some that I tabbed in here. I started tabbing, which is exciting. As you can see, there's only like 4 in there, so there weren't many ones that I was super interested in. There's one that I tabbed as being funny because it was like a poem about periods. And let's see if there's any other. I don't know, I just like tagged some of the ones that I liked. I was gonna see if there was a short one that I could just read. Okay, yeah, so here is a poem titled Digital Relationships. Heart emojis from someone who just wants to use you. I miss your text messages from the same person who left you to deal with your feelings alone. I love yous from someone who made you hate yourself for catching feelings. Welcome to my generation, ... So yeah, it's just, I don't know, I guess I couldn't relate a lot to the poetry that was in here. So that's maybe why I didn't like it as much, but I could totally see someone in like high school or like early college really enjoying this. I ended up giving it a 3 out of 5 as well. There's the front cover again. The next book and final book, so yeah, that's all 8. The last book that I listened to on Audible was Reckless Girls, and that is by Rachel Hawkins. It's basically about this girl and her boyfriend. They have a boat. called the Savannah, and then they agree to, well, the boyfriend really agrees, and then the girlfriend comes along, agree to go to this island that is supposedly like out in the middle of nowhere and deserted. It kind of goes back and forth between people writing like postcards or like emails and stuff to their friends being like, oh, I went to this island and this crazy stuff happened. So you're kind of like getting an inside about what this island is really like from other people that have been there before it goes back to this group of people that are now on this island together. And there's tons of twists and turns. It's a mystery. It's very, I don't know. I was trying to say it's like gory, but that's not true. It's not gory. It's intense. So there's a lot of moments where they encounter death, as lightly as I can put it. But yeah, I won't give anything else away, but it was very good. I believe that I rated this 5 out of 5. Let me double check. Yes, I did give it 5 stars. I think on Storygraph I gave it like a 4.75 because I don't think it was like a exact 5 for me, but you know, on Goodreads you can only do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I give it a 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. But yeah, that was all of the books that I read for January this year. I've already started on some for February. It's the 3rd. Actually, I've already finished 2 books for February. I finished Little Leaders, Black Women in Black History, Bold Women in Black History, sorry, by, let me pull it up, I can't read it as well. Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History by Vashti Harrison. And then I've also just finished Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And I will review those in next month's video. And leave me a comment down below with what you read in January, if you would recommend any of the books you read in January, because I always love getting book recommendations, even if they're not like romance or thrillers or any of the stuff that I've talked about today. I will definitely look them up and add them to my Goodreads want to read if they sound interesting to me. So let me know. Hope you guys have a great February for reading, and enjoy all of the books that you're reading for February, and I will see you later.